Take off and head to the right. Right under that guy. Perfect. All right, let's do it.
Nice launch, Esteban. Good work. Okay, so aim for that windsock on Coyote, the orange and white one. Go ahead and start heading for it. Yep, straight for the windsock on Coyote, and then follow us. Fly straight down the cliff. Don't go into the bowl that's right behind me right now. Just come straight toward us. Then get on the bowl on the other side of it. You're doing just fine there. So come on toward us. And then when you get over here, you see the bowl that's right between me and you. You're going to come in at the third of the bowl over here, and then you're going to slowly turn toward the ocean, and you'll go up even more. You're doing perfect right there. Okay, that's it. Now slow down right there and you'll get more lift. Just slow down and face the ocean, so gently turn toward the ocean. Yeah, you should feel a ton of lift right there. There you go. Now go back toward the green monster. There you go. Feel that lift? Yes. All right. So turn. Keep turning left. Go in front of the green monster and throw that over. You've got all the height. Nice job. Without having to deal with rotor, okay? Because if you go all the way around the bowl, eventually you're going to run into rotor. We're not going to do that today. So I'm going to show you how to do it so you can see. And from your vantage point, it's very easy to see. I'm just going to basically come in. I'm going to get into the bowl on this side where it's low. And then I'm going to curve in and just follow the contour of the bowl all the way up to basically where you are. Above it, but we got to get into this bowl to get some lift. So watch this, Esteban. west on the way across. When it's south, there's less risk of getting venturied in the canyon, but when it's straight west, you do not want to fly back into that canyon at all, or you can get venturied and get blown over the house and get hurt. So, just a general rule, you get out over the beach or over the surf in the middle of Avalon Canyon to make sure you got room to get yourself out of trouble if it's straight west. Again, when it's south, that's not the issue. The issue is getting back, but there's not a venturi over there. So as soon as we're across, we're going to aim for that ridge over there and get right in front of that face, and then we'll be in the lift again. So we're just carving back, aiming for the cliff below the octagon house up there on top. There's a house shaped like an octagon. When we come back, we want to be above that house before we start across the canyon. Now, obviously, we got a bunch of lift over here, so we are completely good now. If you get in the fog, all you need to do is point toward the ocean, full speed bar until you can see the ocean, and you'll be able to get back. But you definitely do not want to disappear into the clouds and stay there because you can run into somebody. Or you can run into a house or fly the wrong direction, downwind, and over the bridge and then never get back. So now you cross that line canyon, and you see down below us some pavement as far as the old Highway 1. There's some graffiti, and I think today we could fly all the way down to the stables and back. There was a mustache flight flying through the stables, but we'll get lower and lower as you go over there, and I don't want you to have to play around with that today, so we're basically going to go to where we're at the end of this cliff where the houses stop, and we'll turn around and go back the other direction. Just about right now, I don't know if you can see us, but I can't see you, so you might want to do big ears and speed bar to get out of the clouds so we can make sure we know where you are. Oh, very nice, very nice. So yeah, now head toward the cliff, and we're going to turn around down here. So come fly toward us, you can get closer to the cliff, you'll be just fine. And then once you get on the cliff, come in behind us and turn around. Now you got to be able to see that pavement below you, the old Highway 1 level. So we basically want to stay above that pavement height the whole time flying today. Just about the whole way back. The name of the game is stay in the lift, but do not get behind any specific ridge or a wreck that is going to potentially cause a rotor and cause trouble. That's all we have to do, fly it back. Now at the end of the cliff, we're going to get close to the cliff and get as high as the octagon house so we can go across Avalon Canyon and not sink out and wind up getting rotored on the other side. So you see right here, there's a big ridge just down below me and Ursula, and there's if you're really close to the cliff right there, that can cause a rotor and it can get you. But if you're out this far, it's not going to happen. And then there's kind of a bowl right in front of us, so I'm just going to turn left, carve in a little bit closer, keeping in mind that in front of us is the other side of this bowl, which will cause a rotor on the other side, and we do not want to get into trouble over there. So as soon as we carve in here, we get the lift, and we start turning right to drift down a little bit to make sure that we don't get into the rotor on the other side, right? Very simple. And we're going to do that the whole way back. height is the octagon house. I want to be a little bit higher than it. So as soon as I get up to the end of this cliff, I'm going to turn in a little bit to catch some of the lift off the end of it before we go across. And it'll give us a little more height. Aiming past the third rock. There are 3 rocks in a row this side of Mussel Rock out in the ocean, and we're going to aim for the ocean on the other side, just to the right of that third rock, so that we don't get roasted on the other side of the of Avalon Canyon here, because that obviously is a huge ridge on the corner here below the church, and you definitely do not want to get behind that. As soon as we're out and we're more or less beside that ridge, we will pyramid and get back in the lift. But as you fly back, you'll see lots of features that you really couldn't see when you were flying down. They could potentially cause rotors, so you're always just trying to look for those, be aware of them, so that you can stay on the right side of the cliff and out of the rotors.
right by the church in front of it.
Okay, copy that. We see you, that's fine. Nice job. Yeah, you're super high. So yeah, if you go out over the water, you'll still be having lift right there. of flying out a little bit and then flying back toward the cliff to see where the lift starts again. It'll give you a lot more confidence that like where you can fly out, you can still stay up and stay out of trouble. Make a full left 180, come back by us.